핸드폰 가져가서 사진 못 찍잖아요. 네?
안 됩니다.
Now that Squid Game Season 2 is available, there are a ton of exciting new characters. The show's creators and writers continue to push the boundaries by posing an increasing number of questions from the perspectives of its characters. Why would Netflix be reluctant to showcase the Squid Game characters or series? Netflix's largest TV launch to date is Squid Game Season 2, and it doesn't appear to be slowing down. Many factors contribute to the show's popularity, but its characters are a major one. Here are the top new characters from Squid Game Season 2, which is gripping because we can identify with the characters and people. The narrative of Jang Geum-ja and Park Young-sik is heartwarming and poignant. Early on in the program, Park Young-sik and her mother, Jang Geum-ja, are each surprised and incensed that the other is present at all. Due to Park Young-sik's substantial gambling debt, they both attempted to play in the games. Before the games, Park Young-sik still lived with his mother, demonstrating his immaturity. He later switches to a blue vote, mostly due to her influence. Although they aren't the best team at these activities, their affection for one another and their significant reunion towards the end of the game show how close a mother and son can be. It appears that Sia Nyo's popularity as a shaman aided her in the games. Her huge, somewhat scary, and domineering demeanor likely kept her alive. I sense you're holding on to many things, Sia Nyo tells Song Jae-hun as soon as he wakes up and gets out of bed. You cannot remain or go. It is unavoidable. It's fate for you. Let me do a ritual if we leave this place. I can eliminate all of your negative karma. She appears to be wise and foresight, and she has a powerful character. Her haughty and somewhat conceited demeanor, however, also works against her. Wearing a rabbit costume, Kong No-yeol worked at an amusement park before the games. Security challenged her for sleeping in her car, and a recruiter for the games contacted her while she was obviously struggling, drinking and using medications. She was recruited as a sniper for the games, where she ultimately killed a lot of players. She is a well-rounded character that exemplifies how the game facilitates the games in addition to recruiting players. But she ultimately gives in to the game developers and murders a lot of people. The sole character that does not take part in the games is Choi Woo-suk. Kim Jong-rae, Mr. Kim, hired him, and the two of them eventually locate the recruiter. They try to stop him by pursuing him, but they are apprehended and subjected to torture. Choi Woo-suk decides to exact revenge on his employer and buddy when the recruiter kills Mr. Kim. Even though money was his original motivation, he claims that following Mr. Kim's death, money no longer drives him and that all he wants is retribution for what happened to him and Mr. Kim. Myung-gi ran a channel called MG Coin and was successful in the cryptocurrency space. Despite having a large fan base and a lot of influence, he ultimately lost a lot of money and accrued a lot of debt. His convincing argument that he was only attempting to offer guidance makes him an excellent character in this season. He makes an effort to justify himself from other characters who believe he misled them. He is a living example of how both lucrative and dangerous the cryptocurrency industry can be. Kim Joon-hee's strength and independence make her one of our favorite new characters. In stark contrast to the show's harshness, she exhibits a great deal of compassion and affection. She exits the doctor's office before her appointment, which is where we first meet her. She participates in the activities for herself and her child because it is evident that she is coping with a lot. She is an accomplished dokji player, and she ultimately persuades Myung-gi, her ex-boyfriend, to alter his vote in an attempt to halt the games. As a struggling single mother attempting to care for her child, Kim Joon-hee maintains her integrity and honesty in a world of intense rivalry where people are murdering, deceiving, and manipulating one another. The fact that Kong Dae-ho is purportedly an ex-Marine makes him an intriguing character this season. He seems perfectly fit for this environment and has all the makings of a boisterous, enthusiastic soldier, but near the end of the season, when things become tough, you see him lose it and exhibit signs of PTSD. Because of how ridiculous and cartoonish he can appear, many people are wondering if he was ever in the Marines. His salutes might come across as theatrical and perhaps fake, much like his bravado. He did, however, vote X and support stopping the games. Furthermore, he was not lying about his proficiency in Gongji because his performance there saved the lives of his teammates. Overall, Kong Dae-ho is an incredibly fascinating and well-rounded character. Thanos, as Choi Subong, is a crazy figure. He holds Myung-gi solely responsible for his excessive debt levels. A rapper named Thanos made the disastrous decision to put all of his money into MG coin. In order to deal with the games, Thanos is shown using medications, which even appear to aid him in the games. However, narcotics like marijuana are prohibited in South Korea. T.O.P., who plays Thanos, was arrested for marijuana use and was sentenced to 10 months in jail and got a 2-year suspension from his mandatory military service in 2017. Choi Sung-hyun made the arrest. Thanos is a really remarkable figure because of his real-life past as well as his Squid Game tale. Cho Hyun-ju, a transgender woman and former Special Forces soldier, enters the games in the first place because she needs money for gender-affirming surgery. "You said I'd be playing games, but you practically kidnapped me," she adds shortly after arriving, following one of the guards' assurances that the winner would receive a substantial sum of money. Being the first to speak up demonstrated her confidence and demonstrated that she is leading from a positive position. She later joins the resistance in their attempt to overthrow the Squid Game as a whole and is a very talented and disciplined combatant and teammate. She represents trans individuals in South Korea, who, according to the series' author and director, have a difficult time, in addition to her eagerness to assist others in the games and her demonstrated moral character. Cho Hyun-ju is the most admirable character in Squid Game Season 2 because to her fighting prowess, teamwork, LGBTQ+ representation, integrity, and inspirational tenacity.